Greetings, welcome to Geek Demon Online. I am your host, the Geek Demon Ken Bouchard, and joining me tonight is none other than the magical John, Ace of Knaves Plowman. How you doing, John?
Ken, I am as excited as a pit bull in a butcher shop, man. This is going to be a fun show, brother.
A pit bull in a what?
A pit bull in a butcher shop. I know that's a little dated. It's a place where you can go buy. No, never mind. I'll make the vegans mad. Go ahead, man.
Anyway, John.
Let's not upset the vegans.
Yes, no, not tonight. No upsetting tonight because we have a special guest tonight, John. Tonight is a big night for us on the show. We have a special guest that started her career as just a little princess on a show you might have heard of, called Kids Incorporated.
K-I-D-S. That's all you get. That's all you get. That was bad. Go ahead. Continue, Ken.
That was everything. But since then, she has appeared in over 49 different movies and TV series, as well as graced primetime TV in over 40 countries. So let's give it up. Give a big round of applause for none other than the lovely, the talented Katie Barberi.
This is awesome. Thank you, Katie.
Now I'm gonna need you. You realize, Kenneth, I'm gonna need you to go with me everywhere from now on, because that introduction, that was on another level. I've done things I wasn't aware that I had done. So
there you go.
Fantastic.
I'll be your hype man. I'll go be like, Katie.
Aw, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. How are you guys?
You want to answer, John?
Well, I will say it again. I'm as excited as a pit bull in a butcher shop, boy.
Okay, now I have to tell you something, because I don't know if Kenneth noticed this, but I was in the green room and I did. What kind of a dog do you have?
Did you see her walk by? Her name is Matilda.
Matilda,
she's a bulldog.
She's a bulldog.
Old English bulldog.
Okay. She is not a pit bull, but she's a cousin.
Yes,
and
she is.
As soon as you said, I know, and I swear people are gonna vouch for me on this. As soon as you said, I'm as excited as a pit bull in a meat shop, she went.
She's like, what?
And then kept going.
Yeah. That's Matilda is a very animated animal. She is my best friend, and I've had her for about 12 years.
I have had my Maltese Shuggy for the same amount of time, 12 years. And it's unbelievable how much they understand. It's frightening how much they understand.
It is.
Anyway, she wasn't sure if that was for her, but she did take a second to.
She probably wanted to go check. She probably wanted to go check. She's out in the kitchen now, I'm sure of it.
So, Senora Barberi.
Sí, señor.
See if I get this right. Gracias por unirse monstruos en el programa esta noche.
De nada, muchísimas gracias a ti por invitarme.
Told you she was going to do that. Told you she was going to do it.
I didn't have the response.
I knew you didn't.
That means you're very welcome, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's an honor.
It's our honor
for accepting it. Thank you so much.
It's awesome. We've got a lot to talk about. You have an extensive career,
like 35 years worth.
I mean, you've been since what? Like I said, 10 years old.
Yeah.
So you started. You're like. No offense to the connection, but you're the Michael Jackson of acting. Like you've been in it since like a little kid.
Yeah. Well, I met Michael Jackson when I was 15, I think.
Really?
15 or 16. Yeah.
Oh.
And I met him at a studio. And I met Quincy Jones the same day.
Wow.
And that gentleman, oh my goodness, what did he say? Love lift us up where we Jeffrey Osborne was also at the studio that day. And we hung out for quite some time. We hung out for like 3 hours. I was there with a friend of his. And I can tell you this about Michael Jackson.
Okay.
The thing with the really, really high voice that he had, that seemed to be a tick.
Really?
Because like a nerve thing, like a kind of barrier that he would put up in front of people he didn't know.
Okay.
Because as the time went by, and we just hung out in his studio and just talked about stuff. As the time went by, his voice, it was still, it wasn't a baritone, but it definitely lowered.
So it like fluctuated as he got comfortable.
As he got comfortable, exactly. I can also attest wholeheartedly to vitiligo because I was there. I saw it. I saw the marks on his neck and his hands, and I was an imprudent 15-year-old, and I asked him what that was, and he was very open about it and said it's a skin disease that I inherited from my dad. He didn't say the name, or I don't remember the name. And I can attest that he gave me a remedy for hiccups that does work.
You want to share that?
Well, I'm going to try. I am not going to demonstrate because demonstrating would look weird. But if you will allow me the attempt at the visual.
Okay.
When I get nervous, which I was in the presence of, Michael Jackson, arguably the biggest star in the history of the world, maybe, certainly the most publicized and very talented and an enigma in so many ways. And so I was trying to be cool, obviously. And I think I did okay. I mean, but it manifests itself with me in hiccups historically. Nice. And so he instructed me to take a glass of water. There was the old, the machines, the water machines, and you get the water out of the big, and he said, bend over and put the wrong side of the rim of your glass. So if you will, the right side of the rim is here next to your chin. Put the wrong side of the rim up against your mouth and swallow the water upside down. Like
so kind of like bent over and just like try to like gulp it.
If I had more room, I would totally try that behind me.
I would end up wearing
if I had more room too, but I've tried to do the visual a couple of times and I failed miserably and made quite a fool of myself. So I'm not going to do it now. But I did do it in front of him, and it worked. The hiccups went away.
Mike had a secret.
I was always grateful for that. He was very kind. I certainly didn't see, a lot of the stuff that has been talked about him. He was very, very respectful and very polite to me, honestly.
That warms my heart because I grew up an MJ fan.
Yeah, I mean, please,
still am.
Who didn't? And I can attest. I mean, you never know what's going on really, in someone's very, very, very personal private life.
Exactly.
And I would never, ever, state otherwise. But my experience in and of itself was, it was one of the loveliest days of my life to get to meet that man and to find him to be as kind as he was.
That's amazing.
That's thank you for that. That's especially kind of like two big Michael Jackson fans. Like thank you for that. That was really cool of you.
So Katie,
it's true. Yes.
Your career, like I said, you have, like you said, 35 plus years now going.
35 plus years.
Yes, which is an extensive career for us to talk about. But
going on 40. I'm about to turn 40 for 4 decades of career. Yep.
That's a long time in the showbiz.
Yeah.
I haven't never done anything for 40 years.
I mean, I haven't been around for 40 years. Yeah.
The thing I know. And the thing about the industry is it may not be that hard to get there. It's hard to sustain.
I can see that. Where
that's the toughest part. And it's I have a good friend of mine is an actor by the name of Jasper Cole, and he posted the other day something that really resonated with me. And he said, this is not a race, it's a marathon, and it's about how long you can handle this process of the ebb and flow of the industry. And, it is full of rejection.
I was gonna say, for like, I've heard where for like each acceptance, you've got like hundreds of rejections to go.
Right. And depending on the situation, I mean, there's moments in your career where you're going to be, quote unquote, hotter, and that is not any sort of a reference to any physicality.
No,
it's a reference to being, because it's interesting. At the end of the day, producers, directors, writers, casting directors, they only really have the reference of the actor from the jobs that they've done. What other kind of reference? They didn't grow up with them. They didn't, they don't know. And it turns out that there's so many different personal aspects of actors' lives, and we're complicated people as it is. Artists are complicated people, and usually come from maybe, very dramatic situations in our personal life, in our childhoods and whatever. And so all of that manifests itself in a desire to perform, to play other characters. Maybe some of us need a little more attention than others, and so that's a reality. And casting directors, producers, writers, directors, they really just know how you behaved on the set on the last job and like the body of work that you've done. So, it makes sense that if you've been cast in one thing and it was successful and the actor kind of behaved and never showed up drunk or naked or both, showed up on the set on time and made sense, kind of, knew their lines and what have you, was nice to everyone, that they will try to cast them again because they really only have the reference from the prior job.
There goes my chances of showbiz.
Drunk and naked. That sounds like a good Friday.
You're not the only one, my dear. You're not the only one.
Now, on my cheat sheets here, because I think everybody has to have cheat sheets when they go and talk to somebody with such a career.
Thank you so much. Scott Schaffo really would have preferred to have Cliff Notes. That was exhausting for him.
I bet. Oh my God, where do I start? Where do I,
Poor Scott.
Me, I'm going to be jumping around because unfortunately on my notes, I'm not a person that goes in order anytime. I'm like, oh, this, and then, oh, this, and then, oh, this. So
life is not in order. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's do that. Let's jump around.
Well,
get out your seats and jump around. I'm gonna jump up.
No, you went for it, John. I wanted to. I didn't go there, but
I will. Yeah, all day.
Crisscross will make you
jump.
Daddy Mac.
I'm gonna turn my shirt around. Hold on.
John, you're wiggity whack.
You're wiggity wiggity. Don't start.
All right, I'm done. We're gonna start with Kids Incorporated.
Cool.
This is a show, I don't know about my watchers, I don't know how young my audience is, but this is a show starting in the 80s. I don't know if it's still going on, but I know it went on for like ever.
It did go on forever because they would just change casts when they got to
Exactly. It's kind of like Menudo. Like, you guys are too old. Next.
Yeah, new guys.
Next batch. You were one of the first. Like, you were in the first.
I was in, I was the lead guest star in episode 5.
Oh, was it 5? I thought it was the first episode. No,
episode 5. It may be the first one available anywhere. That I'll give you. But it was episode 5. It was 1984. Mm-hmm. I was 12 years of age. And it was an extraordinary experience. I mean, my goodness, I was in Los Angeles. I had been auditioning for somewhere between 4 and 6 months, trying to get a job. And, the child actors world, it's, it might seem, I think that casting directors and producers, writers, what have you, people in charge of production, want children to feel as though, they're at play or they're doing a hobby, they're doing something. But it's a very serious business, child actors.
Well, yeah, it's cutthroat, ain't it? Because, I mean, you guys got like so cutthroat. Many.
Yeah.
It's completely cutthroat. And the 80s had its time and its tendencies. And then I went on and I did Every Which Way, which we'll get to, I'm sure, for Nickelodeon. And then I got to watch other child actors and work very closely with them and try to impart as much wisdom as I could. But when I say I had been auditioning 4 to 6 months in Los Angeles, it wasn't like, kind of an after school hobby kind of a thing. No, it was extremely serious.
It was something you wanted to do.
It was absolutely, I knew it's what I was going to be dedicating my life to. I knew, and I had to get in the door, and getting in the door was not that easy because there is a union. We have a union as actors. Well, we have 2. There's a theater union, which is Equity, but in this instance, I'm referring to television. At the time, there were 2. They're now 1. Was SAG and AFTRA. And, in order to get in the bigger jobs, at the time, there were 3 networks: ABC, NBC, and CBS. Not even Fox. I was already very much in the industry when Fox was created, and so there were 3 networks, and then there was film, and the networks did the TV movies of the week and the series and whatever, and that was our world. That was the lane, and then commercials maybe and print. But it was that was the lane that you wanted to be in. Now there's all these streaming services. It was different back then. And it was very cutthroat. And in order to get cast, even though I was a child, I had to compete with actresses my age who were already union members.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time that I was going to do a job in a union project, and not be a member of the union, the producers would have to pay a little penalty and write a letter to the union about why they were casting me. And this was the same for everybody, and not someone that already belonged to the union, not an actor that already belonged to the union. So it was a very, very, very big deal to book this job, because it was my first job. And it was, this was an after show at the time, but I believe there was some sort of situation where you could then Taft-Hartley into SAG from there. And it was amazing. I mean, I worked with, some of them have become quite legendary.
Yeah, like
others had very dignified careers. But I mean, I worked with Fergie. I worked with, at the time, her name was Stacey Ferguson. She was 10. Thank you. I worked with Shanice Wilson. She was one of the dancers on the show. And she has an extraordinary voice, but she was cast as one of the dancers. Martika was the lead singer. Jerry Sherrill at the time, Ryan Lambert hadn't started yet. In the first season, it was Jerry. And I'd say Jerry is the one that I've maintained the lifelong friendship with.
That's awesome.
And Mario Lopez was one of the dancers.
I was going to say Mario Lopez, who later on got famed to be in like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and now he's Mr. Actor, Access Hollywood. He's a huge, host on television now.
And I wanted to cover some of these names too. Like you dropped these names, and I was just like, she beat me to it. But yeah, these are big these names. I mean, you were
I have a big mouth. It's good luck shutting me up, which most of the time is not a problem on these types of shows. If people are happy that I speak, but I do.
Yes.
So.
No, continue on. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, because I'm fascinated with your story here, but I did want to say that you worked with Martika. For those who don't know, she later on did like Toy Soldier, which was a big 80s hit.
Heart to heart.
Forgot about that one.
Classic.
How did you forget about that one? That was like
that's her biggest hit.
I'm old.
You are old. You should know this.
That was a thing. That was one of those ones that it was. My brother had all of her albums as the 2 or whatever we were available, and
Marta Marrero. Yeah. She comes from a beautiful Cuban family, and she was so sophisticated, and she was so young, and I just remember her being so cool. And I thought, my God, if I could ever be that cool, I'd be on the other side of this. I'd be on my way. And amazing young performers, all of them.
Right.
Fergie, Stacey Ferguson. She's this little girl has been in this for her whole life. Rasan Patterson, extraordinary voice, billed at the time as a young Michael Jackson, actually.
Wow.
So yeah, amazing performers, and very driven. Some of them have gotten better breaks or better opportunities than others, but all of them very driven, all of them very talented, very professional. It was an extraordinary place to land for a first job. I just wanted to keep up, and my character was in every scene. So I was going to say,
I watched it because I do my research. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this episode, and I'm like, every time every scene I turn around, it's like, here's the princess. She's hiding in plain sight, and then she's in princess costume. And then the music video where like you're a princess, and then you're like, what is it? Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Yeah.
It was you guys doing Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
I was a huge Cyndi Lauper fan.
It's like, now,
who wasn't?
I don't know if it was the video. I have to pick on something.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know that was your first one. It was your first video. But, and like I said, it might have been the video quality, because God knows sometimes you don't watch stuff that ages well. But this video, the video I watched of it,
straight from the throat.
I'm going for it.
Go for it.
When you were like the princess, were you supposed to have like this, like, I don't give two craps about life, like, demeanor on you?
She was very sad. She was very sad. For me, I played a heroine. She was I was 12. This character was a little girl, but she wanted her independence, and she wanted her freedom, and she came from a very strict family. And so that was an extraordinary thing to play, I think, at that age. And I might have been a little too morose. It's possible, but it was my first job. Certainly the producer seemed happy.
Hey, yeah,
but no, and it was great. But like when you're with all the others dancing and singing, girls just want to have fun. You're up there, you're going and you're dancing and you're having fun. But then it cuts back to the princess, and you're like, girls just want to.
No. Wait. No, Kenneth, I get what you're asking. No, that was Renee Sands who was sitting in the chair.
Oh, that wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
But she was was she the princess then?
Okay, so here's what happens in the story. My character changes places with her. They did like a Prince and the Pauper thing.
Okay.
And so that I changed places with her for the day so that I could go out with all the kids and have fun and experience that.
All right.
So that's why she had a veil over her face so that they wouldn't recognize her. And no, she always thought her character, Renee, that was Renee Sands, and she played the character Renee. Mm-hmm. And she was a regular on the show. She was an amazing singer as well. And she thought that it would be very glamorous to be a princess. But when she gets to the palace and finds out that she's got lessons all day and she's going to, eat food that she doesn't want to eat and all that, then she was totally
it was
down
one of those.
It
wasn't what she expected at all.
Exactly. So no, that wasn't me in both.
That's my bad. I thought.
No, it's okay.
Because I was like, wait a minute. Well, here she's like all happy and dancing.
Yeah,
I get you were supposed to be upset because you were like you wanted your freedom and stuff, but like she's very sad.
No. She thought it was going to be a very different experience getting to be princess for a day, and that's when she realizes, and she actually goes back to my character and says, "You have to talk to your parents because this just sucks." And it was really cute, and she did a great job. And no, that wasn't the two of us, but I can understand that because depending on which copy you saw, I'm surprised you could make any of us out.
That's why I was saying, like, the quality of the video was just very like, ugh, the one I saw, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Why? I mean, she's over here like she has like no frill, and then she goes to the video, she's dancing, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, that would. I mean, I would have loved to have played, those two characters that way, but no, I was just happy in that video.
And here, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a dream sequence type thing going on at first. I mean, I watched that.
Renee
clip
was the one going through something there, not me. I was having a great time and hula hooping and dancing and
playing arcade games and all that.
Playing arcade games, it was awesome.
So we go from there. I'm going to jump a little bit. Again, like I said, I don't have rhyme or reason with this. You were on Silver Spoons.
I was, and you're not really jumping because that was my next. Oh, no. That was, I had a job in between that, and then that was my next job after that. Yep.
Okay.
I was, and I had dreamt of being on Silver Spoons since it went on the air. That was a huge, huge deal for me. And I remember,
I could imagine,
when I had the final audition in the network office, the network trailer at NBC. You're so self-aware the whole time, and especially as a child, of everybody and what they might be thinking of you in the audition process and whatever. And I don't know what I did, but at one moment, I think I said one word a different way from how I had wanted to interpret it in the audition, and I thought I hadn't gotten the job, and I was just inconsolable. So when we got the call the next day, that was just. It was the greatest thing.
Yes, I was this close to being with Ricky. I was this close to Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, in Silver Spoons, did you get to work with Alfonso Ribeiro?
I did.
How was that?
And Alfonso, well, I'm a huge fan of Broadway. That's my actual dream, is to be a Broadway actress. And he had just come off the Tap Dance Kid.
Okay.
Alfonso. And Ricky had his own. He was schooled by himself. And Alfonso had his teacher, and whatever teacher, and whatever guest star was on the show also worked with that teacher, with Alfonso's teacher. So I went to school with him all week.
Oh, nice.
And so we were together constantly. Yeah, he was so sick of me by the time we were done, but it was an absolute pleasure. And then we became, really good friends because we were in that whole group of 80s. Actors that would hang out everywhere, and the Scott Grimes and the Ella Swan.
I can only imagine this club. Like, it's like the 80s kids clubs. Like, it's like
the
Burger
80s
King kids club, but just cooler.
but way cooler.
Yeah. Well, we were. Yeah, it was a very particular time in the industry. For child actors.
Did Alfonso
and we
teach you?
were kind of attached at the hip. Absolutely.
Go ahead, John.
Did Alfonso teach you any breakdancing moves from back in the?
I wish that I could say that he had, but he would.
Did he attempt to?
No. I mean, here's the thing. I remember that the school teacher would have us play Scrabble. As for our English lesson, she would have us play Scrabble.
Okay.
And he had his Scrabble die inside a thing, and so he would dance around when it was time for him to throw his dice. And sometimes it was an entire routine. So no, I did not. There's no way I would ever attempt to get up and dance with him. He was quite a pro, but fun.
Hold on a second. I think she froze. Did you freeze? Did you guys freeze?
Was that characters? Oh, I'm good. I'm
back
right. Anyway.
All right, good.
I think I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, but
it might have been on my side, but you guys are good now. So
was that character Wanda? Was that the character Wanda Biddle? Okay, mm-hmm. I'm just verifying my.
She had this really nerdy name. Because the story of that episode was Ricky's character and I had been, they called it grokking at the time. And I don't know why they called it that. It would now be called chatting. So it was when the internet had just come on the scene. It was 1985.
Very few PCs in households.
Absolutely. And so Ricky's character was Ricky Stratton. He was a rich kid. His dad owned a toy company. So he was grokking with Wanda, with this girl. And they chat for a while online. That's what it's now called, chatting. And then they agree to meet. And when they agree to meet, they both get very nervous about what that meeting is going to be like. And he imagines himself meeting me, and I'm this total, diva. And I was, kind of witchy and rude to him, but in sort of a cute way, and in his dream sequence. And he had these giant ears. They put these giant ears on him, and this big red mark in the center of his forehead, which was supposed to be like the zit. And his hair was like parted in the middle and, just kind of combed down like this. He had these big shoes because he felt like he had big feet, and he talked like this. His voice kept cracking. And then for my dream sequence, because we send each other pictures of what we look like. And apparently he thinks I'm really pretty and I think he's really handsome. So I imagined myself in pigtails with a nose. They put a prosthetic nose on me that was about out to here and just really, really huge. And they put all of these body pieces on me, and the character looked like she weighed around 300 pounds, poor thing.
So she was catfishing before catfishing was cool.
Something like that.
Sort of, but not something like that. Because Ricky wasn't wrong to feel that way.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was a bit. We were big fan. My brother and I, we did not miss silver spoons. Like
I'm the young buck here.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't either. No. Silver Spoons was here, and I think I was in season 5. So by then it was a massive. Yeah, that was a big launch pad for me as an actress.
As a youngin', you took my eyes off of Aaron Gray for 10 minutes.
I was just going to say, and she was the coolest human being. She really was. She was lovely. She was a lovely mentor, lovely lady co-star to work with, just extraordinary. Joel Higgins, the most laid back dude, just lovely. And it was a really good show. I never missed an episode. No. So when that was one of my dreams. That was something I needed to do. And then a few weeks before that, I had done an episode of It's Your Move with Jason Bateman, who had played Derek on Silver Spoons. You remember Derek?
I do. Dare Rick's, the restaurant. Dare Rick's.
Exactly.
That's always stuck out in my head all these years.
Derek was so youngin'. Derek was kind of the antagonist of the show, and he was the bad guy. of the show, and he was always trying to lead Ricky astray. And then they spun Jason off with a show called It's Your Move that Jason has been ahead of his time so many times. And I think that this show was ahead of his time. It was really funny. And I played one of the girls that he was trying to mac on, and he kept getting interrupted by his antagonist on the show, who was a guy who was dating his mom. So I had just done that. I had just worked with Jason Bateman, who was just a consummate professional. It was crazy how professional this kid was. I was blown away by it. And he was 14 at the time.
And he went on to have a big
Oh my God, yeah. No, and he's a director and a writer, producer, and just extraordinary. I took acting classes with Jason's dad, Kent. And so yeah, that's an acting theater family from way back. And he was Justine was on Family Ties. So they were well positioned in the 80s, and then I think Jason really has stood the test of time, and that was an extraordinary thing. That was actually my first SAG job, because Kids Inc. was APTRA. And so then from there I booked It's Your Move, and then Deborah Rubenstein, who was a producer of who was the casting director for It's Your Move, said to Dennis Cornell, the casting director of Silver Spoons, "You have to meet this girl." And that's how I got the opportunity to play Wanda. And as far as I know, that's still one of the favorite episodes of that show, which is just such an honor.
That is so awesome. John, is that Matilda?
It is not this time. I'm not. It's not here. My dog usually snores in the background. That's not the noise.
I'm wondering, is it our coffee maker? Are you hearing something?
I'm hearing a loud every so often.
She's like, that's my side.
It's a coffee maker.
You owe Matilda an apology, Ken.
It's okay. It's almost over. Yes, Matilda was being accused falsely.
I'm sorry.
Not this time.
She was being accused falsely.
Yeah.
It's
snoring this time.
Usually when it's weird noises, it's Matilda.
When I see her, I'll give her extra belly
Oh, no, there's also there's a lawnmower situation.
Okay.
We may be being accused falsely as well. There's apparently a lawnmower going on in the neighborhood, so that might be what that is.
Might be, because
anyway,
it's happening
it's all a part of the new age, isn't it? It's all a part of
I was gonna say, don't feel bad. My window right here, as I told John like a couple episodes ago, I live in an old house, so I hear like everything going on outside.
Yeah,
it's like everything. So it's all good.
No, we live in a house that was built in the 50s. And it's a lovely house. It really is. But yeah, you hear everything.
But from Silver Spoons, I'm gonna jump to one of my favorite genres. I love the horror genre. I am, as you can see right here, this is all nothing but horror movies. I'm a big horror geek. And
do you have Warlock? Do you have Craig's?
I have Warlock. It was Warlock 2, the Armageddon. I have it up there. That's matter of fact, that's the only one I really like. I watched Warlock, the first one, and I was just like, meh. And then Warlock 2 came out, and I was like, okay, they redid it or something. Like this is like a redo, but it's so much better.
Oh, cool! So I will tell him.
Yeah,
he will be happy to hear that.
Warlock 2 is my favorite of the Warlock, and I think there's like 4 of them or something. But
of the Warlock franchise,
yes. But you were on Freddy's Nightmares.
I was. That's where I met Craig.
Yes. And again, as being a horror fan, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot. I don't remember Freddy's Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares is a bit of an enigma. It's an interesting thing. Everyone knows, Freddy Krueger. Everyone knows Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, that's been legendary. And I believe that they had made 4 films or 5. Nightmare on Elm Street films.
You're talking about the actual films before the series.
The actual films.
Okay.
And then someone had the idea to do the series, and Robert Englund did produce that series. And in it, he would possess the characters. I guess my character ended up possessed by him. But Robert Englund's job was obviously to produce the show, but he was the narrator. Freddie was the narrator.
Okay. And
it was an anthology series, and I think it lasted for 3 seasons.
I was gonna say it didn't last long, but it lasted. It had a good run.
It did have a good run. And my character, my character, the week that I did it, she was a young girl. Everyone always wanted to get out of Springwood.
Mm-hmm.
Connie wanted to get out of Springwood. Her boyfriend wanted to get out of Springwood, played by Craig Hurley.
Okay.
Who from the minute he walked on the set, I thought he was the cutest thing ever in the history of the world. And he played my boyfriend, Alex, and he was so professional and just a really smart actor. From the time I got on the set with him, I was impressed. And his character wanted to get out of Springwood as well, but he didn't want to go to college. He wanted to fix up his hot rod and leave with me. And so that was a conflict. That was a love conflict between us, is that I wanted to stay and go to college and leave Springwood the right way.
Yeah.
To, do things correctly. And so halfway through the show, the car that Alex is fixing up, the jack breaks and the car falls on his chest and kills him. And then I do go off to college. Connie did go off to college and joined a sorority and set all of her sorority sisters on fire.
Well, I mean,
cool.
The end.
That's one way to break into college.
Yeah, I mean,
they say that college is it's a defining moment in one's life, and I think that for Connie that was especially true. And she got away with it too, because they blamed it on an electrical.
I was gonna say that's like reverse hazing.
Right. Yeah, big time.
Freshman.
That's Connie got revenge for anyone in that situation, believe me.
Like you were hazed 20 years ago? I took care of it. I took care of it.
Got your 6, bro.
Well, there's some, unfortunately, we have to be careful and sensitive about that, because there are some tragic things that have come out of hazing.
Yes.
The ones where it was not tragic, let's put it that way.
Right.
Yes.
Connie had their back way back when. She made them pay early on. And that was an extraordinary experience. Craig and I did not get together on that shoot. We had a lot of fun shooting. We had a lot of fun with the kissing scenes. We had a lot of fun with all of that. We had really good chemistry, I think. But we finished the show. He paid me absolutely no mind, and went on. And it wasn't until many, many, many years later that we connected, actually, on Facebook.
Awesome.
But I did work with a group of really, really talented young actresses, played these horrible Cinderella, stepsister villainesses, sorority sisters, just awful, horrible little things. And they were so good in their characters. And it was cast by Lisa London, who is still an extraordinary casting director, and just one of the best, and has known the actors that she works with for many, 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 many years, goes all the way back to that. And comes from a show business family. And it was directed by John Lafia, who we unfortunately lost last year in the midst of this pandemic. And it's just, this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes,
and it's very, very important to talk about, how people have been affected by this isolation, and we're on the right path finally. And, hopefully we'll get to hug soon. But, anybody out there who's listening who needs to hear this, if you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. You're not. And hang in there. It's going to get better.
And if you want, there's that noise again. But if you want, I could put down numbers as well.
That'd be amazing.
Any type of contact. Like, is there I'm sure there's like a national.
Yeah, there's a national hotline.
Yeah, I will put that down here for you, just to push that out.
Amazing. That would be awesome, Kenneth, if you did that.
Yeah, not a problem, because I understand completely where you're going with this.
The thing is that the next chapter is what you don't want to miss. Mm-hmm. It's when the surprises come. You don't want to miss that. No. So hang in there. No matter how bad it feels, no matter how alone you feel, don't give up. Don't give up, because each one of us is born with beautiful gifts and beautiful blessings, and the world wouldn't be the same without any of us. We all contribute something special. So, the loss of John Lafia, Craig and I have a project called Daylight Sucks. It's a series about a family of vigilante vampires that kill but only bad guys. And ideally, we would have liked John to have directed the pilot, and he didn't know that because we weren't ready with the project yet. And we have to live with that. All of us that had planned on working with John LaFia or wanted to work with John LaFia or just talk to him again have to live with the fact that he's no longer here. So you never know what's going on in somebody's mind and heart. And just if you feel alone, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out, to let people know I don't feel well. I don't feel myself in this world. And don't leave. Hang out. It's gonna get really good. And you don't want to miss it.
There's always brighter days. Always brighter days after the storm.
Absolutely.
Wow. I feel like we should end there. Like, how do I continue off of that?
Right.
I'm gonna jump. Well, let's
ebb and flow.
Let's bring it back up now. Bring it back up.
Ebb and flow. Well, the thing is, John, he this happened, and I don't talk about Freddie's nightmares anymore without mentioning John and the fact that it did happen.
That's
he was
fine.
such an extraordinary talent.
You have it. Go for it. I mean, that's something that's important. I believe you brought up very important. It needs to be stressed.
Thank you.
But I do want to jump to Ferris Bueller's Days. I always say days, Don. I always say days.
Just one, man.
No, it was just one
day.
Unless
it was
That's
Friday, then you could
Ferris
have had
needed,
a
bro.
bar.
Just one day. That's all he
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
You were in that.
I was, and I was, as Brian O'Halloran would say, I was not even supposed to be there that day.
Really?
I was there on the set to have lunch with I was very good friends with Christy Swanson when we were teenagers, and she was playing the role of Simone on the show, in the movie, which is just a classic scene. She's in the scene with Ben Stein, and he's sick. Let's see if I can remember it, because I heard it 50,000 times. See, my best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid who saw Ferris throwing up 31 flavors the other night. I guess it's pretty serious. Anyway, somewhere in there. And so we rehearsed that a few times before she got to the set. And then I was actually there to have lunch with her and her parents. They brought me with them. And we were just going to have lunch with her. And she had finished her principal filming that morning, but she still had to do pickups. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. But they brought in the students to act around her. And the students were extras sent over by Central Casting. And the extraordinary director, who is legendary, and I am right now, John Hughes. I didn't have to look it up. I just needed a second.
It was
just needed to get there. Just needed to pull it.
All you had
from
to
somewhere in
80s movies.
80s. Yeah. John Hughes, legendary 80s film, young people, 80s film director, really a revolutionary. Anyway, he was enraged because they had sent over these kids that were not kids at all, if you will. They were 25 to 30 years old. Most of these extras playing high school students. And he's like, can we ask the one with the mustache to shave? And do you think, it's just, he was enraged. And I was 13 or 14. And I thought, if I can get him to see me, he might put me in as one of the students. But it's a big sound stage, right? And I'm standing there with Rosemary and Bob, with Christy's parents, and I'm needing to find a way to get closer to him. And so I did, and I headed sort of in that direction and got in his eye line, and had the guts to do that. And he finally turned to me and said, "Are you an actress?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he said, "What have you done?" I had done Silver Spoons. I had done A Tour Move. I had done Kids Incorporated. I had done Watch on the Rhine, a very important play by Lillian Hellman about a Jewish family hiding in their grandmother's home during the World War II. And so that was a very important, and I did tell him about that, and he seemed quite impressed with that I had done theater. And he said, "Come here." And I thought, oh man, please let this happen. And so he brought me on the set, and he sat me down in one of the students' chairs, and he said, "You saw the gentleman playing the professor? I said, yes, sir, Mr. Ben Stein. And he said, you saw his whole monologue? I said, yes. And he said, if you had to play a student watching that, what would you do? And I struck this pose into the camera, just staring at the camera. He said, don't move. And it was and they put me on film, and it was very kamikaze filmmaking, because Christy was emancipated at the time. And what that means is that she was working as an 18-year-old. Yeah. She didn't need an on-set teacher. She didn't need to go to school. She could work any hours she wanted. And that was a legal decision that her family had made. Mm-hmm. A few months before that, actually. She hadn't been emancipated for long, because I think she was 15 at the time. And but I was not. So in order for me to work, there should have been a school teacher on the set. There should have been a series of things. But he put me on film. I thought there was no way I was going to make it into the movie, because somewhere in that process, obviously legal was going to come in and say, no way. No. And all of a sudden, we go to see the movie, and there's my mug. And it was really long. They left it on for the longest time. And it's one of those Hollywood stories that, it feels like, it behooves me to say, if you ever have an opportunity, you can't be a stalker and you can't be weird and whatever, but if it feels, I know, if it feels right and it feels appropriate and you feel an opportunity before you, go for it. The worst thing you can hear is no. Mm-hmm. And I just got through listening to Matthew McConaughey do Green Lights, narrate Green Lights, his book. And he talks in there about how he was auditioning for A Time to Kill. And he was actually brought in as one of the guys, I think one of the bad guys, who had, a smaller role. And he said to Joel Schumacher, I think you should give me the role of the lawyer. And Joel Schumacher said, oh, well, that would be lovely, but there's no way. Well, no way. He goes off, does another movie. And during that time, Sandra Bullock's film that she was already attached to, A Time to Kill, goes to the moon, which is something they didn't expect. Mm-hmm. And which then put her as the lead performer in the film, which gave them room to maybe hire an unknown in the role of that lawyer. If he hadn't said that to Joel Schumacher that day, maybe Matthew McConaughey's life would have been very different. If I hadn't said that, if I hadn't found a way to get next to John Hughes and see if he would notice me, I wouldn't have this extraordinary memory and be a part of, arguably the best John Hughes film that was ever made. Right.
Definitely.
And I'm extraordinarily proud of that. And I went for it, and I continue to go for it. I continue to be just a girl who decided to go for it. And opportunities come to us in this life, moments come to us in this life that, without being impolite, without being pushy, without being, inopportune in any way. If the moment arises and you have the opportunity, have the faith in yourself, have the confidence to say, yeah, there's no reason why this can't be me. This should be me. And I'm going to let people know it could be me.
John, what is that famous Wayne Gretzky saying?
The one we said just
yeah, we said it earlier. Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
Yep.
That fits perfectly.
Oh my God, it does fit perfectly.
We just had
you
that
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
And you took it and you went with it and it paid off.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Oh, and
and
there's a button. There's a button. There's a button. I wasn't, compensated as a SAG actress in I wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Yeah.
But 20 years go by. DirecTV buys some moments to show that DirecTV is now expanding. I think at the time, this was in 2006.
Some promotional shots.
Mm-hmm, from some really iconic 80s films. I have no idea how they knew it was me. I'm not in the credits, but they contacted me and they paid me a buyout of $25,000 to be in there. to be in their commercial.
$25,000, and that talk about a long.
Where were you, John Hughes?
That's a long payoff, but that's
That's the long payoff.
That's the long.
That was the buyout. That was the first buyout. Yeah.
I was like, man, I was in this film by luck, and I'm only in it for like X amount of time, but I got 25,000 bank.
Right.
So whoop.
Well, and the thing is that when you're not expecting that kind of cash to come your way, that's a very, very nice gift.
Man,
So,
John, when are you going to pay me my 25?
Yeah, John.
As soon as you start a John Hughes film.
Well,
you're Lord John Plowman.
Yeah, Lord John Plowman.
I am not going to hire a peasant.
Hey, now if you see Game of Thrones, Mr. John Plowman, you'll see that peasants can be beneficial.
Yeah, they know things and they drink.
Exactly. They drink,
yes.
they drink and they know things.
They drink and know things.
Yeah. They drink and they know things.
I'm going to jump to one of my favorite movies of all time. And I know you know which one I'm going to talk about.
You know where we're going.
I have no idea.
No, not at all.
No.
We're not going to.
Oh my God. And you have it in front of you.
I have it right here.
Wow.
Before I even talk to you about your career and this, okay?
Well, yeah.
I was this tall, maybe, I was a smaller Ken, if you can imagine. There was a small Ken at one point. There was a smaller Ken.
Yeah, that's.
Were you born when Garbage?
I was born in 81.
So you were.
Yeah, I was a young kid.
You were 5.
Yes, and
I remember when I was 15.
I remember it airing. I think it was on HBO. Maybe Cinemax. I'm not sure. It was either HBO or Cinemax back when.
I do remember that all of the cable shows bought it. It was crazy. Yeah. All of the cable networks.
And what I remember is
wow,
it was
on a lot.
It was back when HBO would only air 3 or 4 movies a day.
Yeah.
It was
and they had their programming, and you could look at it in the morning, and you would see what the programming is.
Yeah, you can look at it, and you can catch it later.
HBOs, and there's streaming and all that stuff. But at one time, you didn't have a lot of options. If the Garbage Pail Kids movie was on, that's kind of what you were watching.
And I used to watch it religiously. My mom, of course, being older, she's just all that. But I remember.
I'm so sorry. Please apologize to your mom for me.
Well, I'm sure she hears you. She's I'm sure she hears you.
Yeah. I'm sure of it.
But
I am sorry.
She appreciated you keeping Ken out of her hair for a bit, though.
You probably did. It was the 80s. I'm like, scoot the chair, put him in front of the seat. I'm gonna go talk to my daughter, and we're good to go. But
well, what's so interesting is that what's so fun about that is that I hear that a lot, Ken. I hear that a lot. And a lot of the kids who are now, big kids, they're adults. They come to me and they say, that wasn't supposed to watch. I love that movie. It's like kids were being bad for watching the Garbage Pail Kids movie. So that's always, it has a special place in kids' hearts because they were being naughty because they weren't supposed to turn it on.
Yeah, it took a lot to convince my parents for the money to go to the theaters to see it. It took.
You saw it in a movie theater?
I saw it in a movie theater.
Well, he's an old man. He's an old man.
I do. What did you pay? You paid your parents
sweetie,
paid something
honestly,
$5.50.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know. It was the movie theater.
You probably paid $2.50. Now was there popcorn? So I'm gonna need a full tally.
Yeah,
I'll get you that back.
Yeah, probably.
We need reimbursement.
It was probably no more than 10.
I will.
It was probably no more than 10
I'll take care of that for you. Don't you worry.
Yeah, it took a lot for me to convince my parents that they were going to allow me to not. They were
going to let me
pay to go see it.
You probably had fun. I'm reimbursing you for your parents.
Yeah.
It's the least I can do.
She's going to give it to your parents, not you.
Yeah, somebody needs to reimburse my parents for a lot of things.
For a lot of things, right?
I'll take care of the $20, man. I got you.
I tell you, send it to me and I'll make sure they get half.
Garbage Pail Kids. I will be honest. The movie, I loved it. I was the kids. I watched it all the time, but I didn't know that because I was young. I didn't know their existence beyond the movie. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't know they were cards?
No, because
that happened a lot.
I was like, what?
That happened a lot because the thing is that they were supposedly kids trading cards.
Yeah.
But adults were, collecting those cards. That was they were the ones.
Well, it got a lot of heat because a lot of adults were these are disgusting, these are wrong.
Yeah.
It was a time frame where
Thumbs
like
down.
they were going to.
Well, we had and we had groups of conservative active groups of parents boycotting the film and saying get it out of the theaters, and I was like, really, it's not going to be that much longer anyway. You don't actually have anything to worry about. They will be out of the theater shortly.
It's not going to take long.
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, they were kind of wasting their time
That
in that LA heat with the signs and whatever. I was like, really, just give it a couple more weeks.
I feel like they probably helped out because that was one of the reasons I wanted to see what it is.
Oh, really? Well, see,
like,
that's the thing. I'm telling you.
This?
It was this really
you can't go see that.
clandestine thing for a kid to see. And, you know, there was some stuff that was really, really inappropriate for a children's film.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old. They had Tangerine half naked. She was a designer. And so, you know,
you're over there like flirting like with, Mackenzie Aston was his name,
Mackenzie
right?
Aston, who we started on the show. We started on the movie dating.
Really?
But we could not withstand, neither one of us. We were way too young to withstand everything that was going on there.
Wow.
We could see which way this movie was going, and then when it came out, we did remain very dear friends. But it was a lot for kids. I was 15, Mac was 14. And it was a lot for us to endure. The shoot, the way that we could see it going, everything that was happening. But you know, but this was the Garbage Pail Kids movies themselves. You know, that was the first time they used animatronics.
Really?
In a film. It was very experimental. So it was extremely cool to see that, you know, the scenes with the kids, with the actual Garbage Pail Kids, and to see like the dudes. It was not remote control. It was none of those. And now they could probably do it. They could, you know, shoot people with animatronics from some part of the world, and they'd never even have to see each other. But at the time, they were wires that came out of the backs of their heads through their costumes, and then on the floor you could see these guys behind the props and the furniture working these animatronic faces. So it was very experimental and very cool in that way. Working with Anthony Newley was extraordinary. You know, he wrote Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, which is a huge Broadway musical. My obsession with Broadway goes way back to when I was 5 years of age. And he wrote The Candyman. Who can take the sunshine, sprinkle it with dew? Da-na-na-na-na. That was Anthony Newley.
Really?
Who wrote that. And he played Captain Manzini. Okay, so he was already a legend, on this film. Then his daughter Shelby, which is so beautiful, and she showed up on the set one day, and we became very dear friends. So I started hanging out at the Newley house. That became, pretty normal, and so that was amazing. And they're, very, very special people, and it was an extraordinary experience in a lot of ways. Certainly, it has proven far more legendary. At the time we got reamed. At the time they were enraged with us, right. It was critics. I mean, there was a critic in New York, and I don't want to get in trouble here because someone's going to be like, no, I didn't. But there was a critic in New York. I think it was the New York Times. Maybe I'm wrong, but they loved it. But there were a lot of critics that did not love it. And so it was hard as a young actress to go through that because you're always just as good as the last project that you were on, like we were talking about before. And now it's this cult classic, and now everybody loves it. And now, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the fans, and they're awesome. And it's going to be so cool. I get to start doing cons coming up here, thanks to the amazing David Madison, who's going to hook me and Craig up. And what, Ken?
If he's going to hook you up, maybe there's a chance. Did he even throw the word Sci-Fi Valley Con anyway?
Was that?
Yeah, I believe he did. Yeah, but that's not into 2022.
Well, that's fine by me. I'll see you there. That's in my hometown.
That's us.
Is it really? Wait a minute.
Territory.
Wait. Where are you? You're in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, yes. We're in Altoona, Pennsylvania. That's Sci-Fi Valley Con.
That's
in
Altoona, Pennsylvania. Are you guys going to be doing that con in November?
No, October.
It's October of this year.
And I'm not sure about next year.
I believe the idea is that we do see each other there, my dear. So that will be a pleasure, because I just remember a con that's coming up in Pennsylvania that he was speaking about. So that's
are you
very
going
exciting.
incognito or?
No. I'm going as a guest. Craig's going as a guest, and it's
You're
going to be
talking about
awesome.
next year.
No.
This year?
It looks that way, unless I'm wrong. We can confirm with Dave, but
I was going to say, because
I
I thought he had everybody from like last year set up for this year because they canceled.
Unless it's a different con.
Well, there's only Memento Con and then Sci-Fi Valley Con.
I believe it's 2021, the end of this year. I was wrong. It's not November. It's October.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
that's the
what?
idea.
I will be
Just
seeing
real
you there
quick,
because
that's birthday weekend.
Whose birthday
I'm
weekend?
working here, Ken.
November is my birthday, okay? And I'm coming in and I'm going to get this signed.
Well, I got to tell you something. I can't wait. And I had no idea that the fan base that is out there, I can't wait to.
Yeah, we're out here.
I can't wait. Really, I can't wait. I'm very excited about it. And I can't wait to meet everybody. And thank you to all of the Garbage Pail Kids movie fans out there. We worked really hard on it, and to see that people really did like it. We just didn't hear about it because of all the noise, the conservative groups and the critics and whatever.
It was
at the
like
time,
those, what do they call
we didn't
them?
hear
Cult,
about
it became
it.
Like you said, it became a cult
It
classic.
did. It became a cult classic,
while.
and it's going to be. I love it. I mean, please, we only got one ride on the planet. We should enjoy as much of it as we can. And if anybody out there appreciated the movie, and apparently there are a lot of people who did,
lots.
I can't wait to give everybody a hug. Truly.
And I want to point out to the fans that are listening right now, zoom in on me, Ralph. Okay, thank you. Listen, you heard it. Katie Barberi said she's going to be at Sci-Fi Valley Con. I don't even think it's even posted yet because I don't remember seeing anything posted. So this is amazing. This is amazing.
And I think it's important to say, y'all, everybody need to I don't want to get all political and stuff, and I don't want to piss off anybody, but get your vaccines. It's important so we can get to those Comic-Cons this year.
We've pushed it. We push it like hard on the show. We said it last time.
It's very, very important so we can get together again.
Actually, my son just got his first shot today through school.
Oh, wow.
He actually came home
Oh.
early because he was feeling but he's feeling much better now. So
cool.
Cool. Yeah, but I'm fully vaccinated. John's fully vaccinated. My girlfriend's fully vaccinated. We're all ready to go.
We're all going.
Yeah. No, we all can't wait to get together and see each other. And it's really important.
I want to point out a few more things about Garbage Pail Kids because that was my movie. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some questions, ma'am.
Well, yeah, we got questions.
Right.
John's got questions. I got questions. John, you want to go ahead hit her with the one question you got?
Okay, I'm gonna start. This is maybe a special effects question. In the early scenes of the film, Mackenzie ends up with scratches on his face. I believe
because Juice was after him. Juice was chasing him.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Later on throughout the film, those scratches are still seen, but they look like they've started to heal. My question was, did something happen that they were real scratches to his face that they were like, leave him, he just got his ass kicked by Juice? Or was the effects department that good?
Right on the ball on that one.
They look like they started to heal.
So thank you on behalf of the makeup department. No children were harmed in the making of this film. He was not scratched up. I was there the day of the park. As you know, Tangerine had to be there.
Yeah, she was insane.
Yes.
Every single he got beat up.
He was not. Mac wasn't scratched up. He did a really good job, acting like he was. Yeah, they had a great makeup department, great makeup and actually wardrobe. Everything that was image design for these characters was done really, really well. And I wish I could remember the name of the key makeup artist. I apologize. I'm sure that, but she was amazing, and she made us feel so welcome every day. And she was a huge stickler for continuity. Everything had to be perfect.
Then that would
so
make
thank
sense.
you on behalf of the entire makeup department. They did kill it. And no, he was not scratched up for real. That was all fake. And I think it's nice to hear that it was well done.
It was very convincing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I've dabbled in it and was like, that was impressive. If he didn't accidentally scratch himself
No,
during
no, no,
filming,
no.
he
No,
did.
he was
They
fine.
did a bang up job, no pun
He was
intended,
fine.
of making
And
him look
the
banged up.
messier they would get him, like the more they'd throw him in the mud and stuff, the happier Mac was.
Right?
I bet. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he was
loved
a young
that.
guy. He was just like, "Ah, go ahead."
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, he felt like he was doing like kamikaze filmmaking.
Now, with the selection of Garbage Pail Kids that they used in the movie,
Yeah.
do you know anything like why they picked the ones they did or not? Because I know.
So here, I'm going to give you an educated hypothesis.
Okay.
I think that they were the ones. I don't know that it was based on popularity, because popularity would be subjective to a certain extent, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
On which would be
Yes.
but here's what I do know. They were gross, but they were doable.
Okay.
They were doable, meaning,
Okay.
you know, they could do with, I think it was Nat Nerd, they could do like his big zits, and they could do his peeing, and they could do, I remember the most complicated one, I think, was the alligator head for Alligator, and the rest of them were, you know, it was, I mean, they were, I helped to make Valerie's vomit. There's some interesting, oh, you have Alligator?
Alligator's
Oh my
right,
God.
right there in my
Oh my
collection.
God. And wasn't he a great actor?
He was. He's like,
wonderful.
I like them toes, and I was like, yes. I love
Yeah,
them.
no. They were and he just developed that character on the set. You know that another actor was going to voice that character, and they gave it to him because he was so good. I think that it was just that they were doable, you know, in a way that they didn't have to attach too many things to them and what have you.
Like today, I'm sure, like with CGI, they could do like whatever, but back then they were limited.
Today we're talking about this was practical.
Yeah,
these
Right.
were all
Super
practical special effects,
which I prefer
So-
practical over CGI a lot of the time.
a million times. But if you can dig that, if you can dig the idea that they were that it was practical special effects, you know, you're going to have to go with a series of Garbage Pail Kids that they can do with costuming and the animatronic head and a minimum amount of practical special effects like vomit or pee or whatever it was. Snot. We used KY jelly for the snot. Yeah, for Missy Tessie. It was way too much fun. It was so, I mean, I would watch this and I was like, I can't. I'd watch them shoot. I was like, but you know, we were never grossed out by it because we're actually helping. I mean, I did help make the vomit. That's one of my
That's
brothers'
awesome.
vomits. Yeah.
It's like, I got to make the vomit.
I did. I made a lot of the vomit. Yeah, I would help them out.
Now, did they know it was going to be a one movie deal? Because I noticed.
I think we were surprised we made it through the one movie. Yeah, it was.
Well, why I ask
Yeah,
is like a lot of
I
movies,
think
like
we knew it was going to be just one movie.
a lot of
But you
movies
know,
go
they
for
edited
sequels.
it. Well, they edited it out of sequence. That I will say.
Okay.
The Garbage Pail Kids movie. This is. I mean, I'm probably giving away a huge secret here, but you heard it here first. The Garbage Pail Kids movie ends, you know, the whole revenge thing with Juice and all of that,
Yeah.
and you know, the toilet and all that stuff that happens, that happened at the end of the movie in the script, not in the middle. So I digress, and I can't remember exactly. I think, you know, Dodger tells Tangerine to stuff it earlier, and then the whole revenge thing happens after the fashion show, and then the movie ends, which gave the Garbage Pail Kids kind of a little bit more of a justification for their revenge. No, is that they go through all this stuff as well as a fashion show, and I believe, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but that it was edited differently, so that their whole revenge thing happens in the middle of the movie.
Well, actually, it's kind of closer to the end. Like it's like
3/4 of the way through.
because
Because it was the end of the script was there.
I think the end of the movie is them trying to get Mr. Manzini or whatever his name was,
Captain Manzini.
Captain Manzini and Dodger are trying to get the Garbage Pail Kids back in the pail. And you're like sayonara, we're leaving.
Yeah.
But
you're pulling us in. Yeah.
The only reason why I ask about that is because a lot of movies like to whether they do it or deliberately or not, they have that whole like cliffhangers and stuff. And with the Garbage Pail Kids, they pretty much said like through the movie, they're like all the other Garbage Pail Kids are done. They're gone. The only Garbage Pail Kids in existence in this world are the ones.
Oh, that's
right here.
true.
So I was
That's
like,
true.
oh.
Yeah,
Like-
well, I think they were just making sure that they didn't get franchised out or something. I have no idea. But
we
yeah,
don't want
they
another
did.
one. We don't
We
want
don't-
another one.
yeah.
They
This is
kind of,
enough.
they kind of, pardon the pun, put the lid on that.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They put that in the trash can. They were done.
They put it in the trash can.
But yeah, as you see, like I have Garbage Pail Kids there. I have Adam Baum here, which that's why I was asking because he's like one of the most
Was
popular
the Garbage Pail Kid.
Garbage Pail Kids, and he didn't
Yeah.
make the
Wow.
film, but he'd be hard
Wow,
to do
no.
because he explodes or something.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, if you think about what it would have entailed, I think that's what that was, one of the most important parts about the decision. And that is an educated guess. I was not in on pre-production,
Well,
obviously, for the movie, but I think I heard that
I
But
somewhere.
it's
take that
awesome.
as-
And
I'll
Garbage
take
Pail
that as
Kids.
a solid answer.
Garbage Pail Kids will always
Thank you.
always be my, like I made my fiance watch it. I made Damien watch it.
Please apologize to her on my behalf. I'm not going to apologize to Damien because I think Damien might have liked it.
No, he
Probably.
loved it. Actually, she didn't mind it because she has fond memories of like when when she was young, her dad and her used to collect Garbage Pail Kids cards, but she
There
didn't
you
know this
go.
existed.
There you
And
go.
we have this like massive card collection of Garbage Pail Kids. So I had to show her the movie. I had to.
Wow.
I was like, you got to watch this. You may not
Well,
want to collect
thank you,
anymore,
man.
but
Thank you for spreading the love.
but from Garbage Pail Kids, I'm jumping completely. This is an Olympic jump.
Go for it.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
You have a character, Matilda. I
No.
believe?
Ursula.
Ursula.
Matilda.
Ursula. I don't know. Matilda.
Matilda was
And Matilda was in Spanish, was Maddie's character's name was Matilda in
Okay.
Spanish. But the first thing that I did for Nickelodeon was for Nickelodeon Latin America.
Yes.
And it was a Spanish speaking version of Every Which Way, which was eventually produced in English and which is what aired here in the United States and in a lot of parts of the world. It's airing in Africa, I believe, and Asia, Every Which Way. But the first project about teenage witches that Nickelodeon did was called Grachi,
Mhm.
and it was in Spanish 100%. And I played the same character, but I was allowed to be way more cartoonish and create her whatever way I wanted. And so she talked like this, and she would laugh like this. And I played her. They thought that I had some fans who thought that it was a voice box and it was, altered in post or whatever. And so then I would in interviews, do the voice, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's real." And I just started. If anyone had been paying attention, I was hired for the first season of Grachi because they wanted. I'm a pretty well-known telenovela actress.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nickelodeon Latin America wanted an actress that the adults might recognize.
Okay.
If they went to sit down with their kids to watch the show, they would recognize them, but they didn't expect the kids watching the show to identify with my character at all. And I said, and I was warned about that when I was hired. And I said, why not? And they said, well, because they just don't identify with the adults. And I thought, wait, I'm a Garbage Pail Kids movie alum. I know how to connect with my youngins,
Do
right?
not know my past.
Yeah, you
Right.
don't. You don't know who you're messing with, man. So she was kind of a bitchy elitist woman, Ursula, in the Spanish speaking version. Oh, was I supposed to say the which word instead of I said
no.
the B word, I'm sorry.
I was just
No,
I
we-
was
we-
just
we
curious. Are
curse
you
all the time,
allowed?
but-
Are you
Okay,
allowed
okay.
to curse when you're talking about Nickelodeon?
Well,
That was my question.
I mean, that's obviously
The
No,
second
no,
was like, yeah, that's the
Nickelodeon.
first thing we'll do with
Naturally.
Nickelodeon.
naturally.
Don't you?
I was, she was elitist and she was stuck up and whatever the character, and she was a mother of the bratty, spoiled, little blonde girl in school, head cheerleader that everybody was into, and that character was played by Kimberly Dos Ramos, who looked just like Marsha Brady. They cast a little actress who looked just like Marsha Brady to play my daughter. And I thought, well, what if Ursula is all of these things? She's mean and she's stuck up and whatever, but she doesn't realize that that's what she's being. So I called on my muses. I called on Lisa Kudrow and Suzanne Summers and just the great comedians, Deborah Messing, Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett. And I started, Kim Cattrall, I started willfully and disgustingly stealing from all of them. I deserve to be imprisoned.
I was gonna say, and that's a who's list right
Yeah,
there.
It is. I wasn't messing around because I wanted to last into a second season. So I started playing her as kind of ruthless but funny, and it worked. And I ran the whole show. And then I ran the whole show, but I stayed on the run of the show
Yeah.
for the 3 seasons. And then there was this rumor out there that they might be doing an English speaking version of the show for Nickelodeon. I was like, no, it's never going to happen. Are you kidding me? And lo and behold, I got the phone call. I had to audition, and the producers called me before I auditioned, the ones that had produced me for the Latin America version, and said, you have to tone it down.
Now, was that weird?
Way down.
Was that weird that you had to audition for a role that you're already playing?
That I'm already playing, and that respectfully I helped to create.
Exactly.
Honestly.
It's like, wait a minute, I got to audition for this role. I created
Well, the
this
thing
role.
is, I mean, they heard over at Nickelodeon in LA, they're like, okay, the actress that played the character in Spanish, I think they thought maybe, might she have a dialect? Does she speak English well? What direction are we taking? Not that would have necessarily been bad, but it would take the character in a different direction, maybe.
I understand.
So they wanted to see, and I auditioned. I dialed her way down and played her more in the type of, comedy, more modern family genre of comedy, not quite as over the top, and booked it, and ended up doing that version of the show as well. And it ended up being 270 episodes total.
I'm gonna say it ran a good while.
Yeah, well, Every Which Way and Grachi together ended
Yeah.
up in 270 episodes.
Jumping from Every Which Way and Grachi, was it Grachi? Is that how you pronounce
you
it?
just pronounced that really well.
Well, you got to roll the R. I know. I'm.
Grachi, you have to roll the R.
My last name is Bouchard. I'm originally from Northern Maine, so we there's a lot of French speaking. So you got that roll the R type stuff. So, but
nicely done. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But
it's true.
With that show, you've done a lot of telenovelas.
Telenovela. It's just
I
a
have.
fun word to
I've
say
done
to start
over
with.
20.
Telenovela. That's like TV, small
TV
novels.
TV novel.
TV novels.
Is basically televised novel is
Yes.
what that translates to. Yep.
You and I know this sounds horrible because I'm sitting here again interviewing the actress, and I said you've been in so many stuff, but a lot of your career I can't cover because here I am in eastern side of the United States, Pennsylvania.
You mean you haven't watched all of my telenovelas, Ken? Even though you don't speak Spanish, I don't understand that.
I've tried, but I mean, just it's kind of like watching. I don't know. Like
I get it. You
Greek.
know that Craig confessed to me that he had been watching me in telenovelas for years before we started hanging out, and I was like, you're a creep.
But do you even speak Spanish?
Exactly. No, he doesn't. Well, he understands it now. I can't talk bad about him in Spanish.
See, now that you guys, it's one of those things that
I've lost that.
I all the time I'm like tabernacle and Deidre's like my girlfriend. She's like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "It's bad. It's bad. It's a tabernacle." But just. Your career extends, and I just want to briefly cover this because again, I got no clue.
Well, the telenovela is, it is a televised novel. I've played any number of characters from villainesses, the most craziest villainesses.
What was the one where you had like a cowboy hat?
That was Doña Barbara, and that character, Edith and I, she's one of my dearest friends, and we lost her. 2 years. It's going to be 2 years ago next month. To cancer. Edith passed on. She was the one in the cowboy hat. I was Cecilia in that show, That was Doña Bárbara for Telemundo. And telenovelas are hugely, massively popular in the Latin market and all over the world. They're seen all over the world. If one of your telenovelas is only sold to 50 countries, it did okay. Like
Wow.
that's the meter.
That's an okay.
So
And
exactly.
here we are in like
Right.
central PA, northern, eastern of the United States, and we're like,
Yeah, no, well, I mean, the United States has soap operas and nighttime soap operas. And that was really huge in the 80s as well. Dynasty and Falcon Crest and Dallas and all of those were huge.
I remember
And-
growing up watching. I had to watch them. I always
Like,
wanted.
did Mom watch them?
Well, yeah, mom watched like As the World Turns, Days of Our Lives, The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, she was an
Just
NBC
all day.
girl.
She was, and like
I was an ABC girl. I was
had-
All My Children, One Life to Live in General Hospital every day religiously.
well, I had to go through all of them to get to Voltron. so I had to
You
sit
do what
there.
you got to do to get to Voltron.
Suffer for our craft, Ken.
I did, yeah. I had to sit there on the couch and watch like what is his name, Stefano DeMero, and like all these other characters, like go through like daily struggles and falling in love and stuff, just to get to a half hour.
Just to get to Voltron.
Just a half hour of Voltron.
We feel your sacrifice.
It was
Absolutely.
a rough couple of years. Voltron only lasted for 2 seasons, so it was a rough couple of years.
Well, I was a huge fan of the soap opera genre when I was a kid. I grew up with it, and then when I started doing telenovelas, it happened quite by accident. They had wanted to sell the telenovela genre to the American market. So the telenovela genre, it's like soap operas in that it runs Monday through Friday, but they're prime time. They're not daytime. In the Latin market and in it's changing now so much because of the streaming services that are now available. But networks in Mexico, Latin America predominantly ran telenovelas since, almost since television began to air in those parts of the world. And then they sell them internationally. It's in the international sales that they make, most of the money on the projects. But they run Monday through Friday, prime time. That's when they run. And they had wanted to sell that concept. And this is crazy. Here, I'm going to let you in on something. They had wanted to sell that concept to the American market in 1994. They were trying to do this. And so they cast me. My dad, may he rest in peace, was Mexican. I'm Mexican. I was born in Mexico. My dad's whole side of the family, Mexicanos, todos.
Okay.
And so I hadn't seen them in quite some time. And when it was proposed to me that I play the villainess in one of the projects that they were shooting simultaneously, they had their telenovela project in Mexico that they were shooting called Acapulco, Cuerpo y Alma. And they were shooting this at Televisa, which is this huge conglomerate and producer of telenovelas. They wanted to shoot an English-speaking version at the same time because they got 3 or 4 of those in the can, I believe. They called one Crystal Empire, one The Guilt, one Acapulco Bay, and they tried to sell them to Fox Network. And they didn't sell. But they had already produced them. So we sold to, I believe, Europe and some other parts of the world. But my point, because I actually do have one, is that when I got down there to shoot this, the casting director, there's one casting director still at Televisa for all of these producers that are there. And the producers found out that I had been born in Mexico, that I did have, my whole family was Mexican. And they asked me if I would like a career in telenovelas. And there were a couple of Disney films that I had done were actually in their video store inside the studio. So they were excited about having an actress who had, a career in Los Angeles before I came there. And that's how I started doing them. And I didn't stop. I did 12 of them in 9 years in Mexico. And I also did theater and a couple of films there before they sent me to Miami to the annex, the production annex in Miami. And then I started shooting for Telemundo, went to Colombia, shot 3 of them, the one with the cowboy hat, that he wore the cowboy hat. We shot that in Colombia. And then I shot 3 there, and then back to Miami, and I shot 7 of them, and then that I started doing theater, decided I wanted to do some theater in Chicago.
Now, I'm assuming being bilingual helped a lot.
Well, I actually, when I went to Mexico to do Acapulco Bay, I was born in Mexico. My family on my dad's side of the family was Mexican, but I was raised in the United States by my mom. So I spoke maybe 80% Spanish. I mean, just objectively, that's about, I thought I spoke a lot more, but it took getting into diction classes in Televisa and whatever. And I did that 6 days a week. To realize that I actually spoke very little Spanish. And my diction coach, I don't know if either one of you saw the movie Babel with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Okay. So remember the nanny that loses Brad Pitt's children in Mexico?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's Adriana Barraza. She was my diction coach at Televisa.
Okay, cool.
So because of her, in 6 months, I was speaking like I was born and raised there. She was an amazing coach.
You're like, see, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, just rattling it off. Exactly. And it sounded good enough. And they started just putting me on film.
And then we're gonna quickly fast travel now because you've been in much stuff like, what was the last one? I think, were you in Chicago Fire or something like
that? Yeah. I started.
I mean,
before the world turned upside down, right?
Before chaos, yes.
Before chaos, in December of 2019, I started that role as the head of the CEO of the gas company, Brendan McKinney. And so that was a really cool episode to do of Chicago Fire. There's a gas leak throughout the city, and it's up to them and her to stop it, or Chicago will be destroyed. And so that was great fun.
And who do you call when Chicago needs help? Katie Barberi.
Yeah.
But you've had an extensive career, and there's so much more that we can cover. Just it's crazy. And the fact that you're coming to Sci-Fi Valley Con blows my mind. I'm gonna rally the troops, John. We need to rally the troops.
Please rally the troops.
Like we're going to have a garbage
see everybody there.
Nerds in mass.
Oh my God, it's very exciting. We got to get this. We got to get this interview to Dave so that he's aware of this, because I know he's got us.
Let him be surprised.
He's got really.
We need to get this to Casey. Casey Bassett is the head honcho of Sci-Fi Valley Con.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
We need to get this to him.
Probably that'll save Dave a couple phone calls.
Yes.
So that would be helpful.
Yeah. So hey, Casey, if you're watching this, listen, right here, right beside me over here is Katie Barberi.
Over there. Quit pointing.
Well, I know. See, I know. Listen, Ralph's over there. He's the one that does the editing. I know where.
It's like the Scarecrow.
I know where everything's
going. The Wizard of Oz. Who knows which way it is?
I'm here, but you're there. She's there.
And we're actually, it'll be cool because Craig Hurley will also be there.
Yes, and then I can get my Warlock 2, the Armageddon signed as well.
He will be there as well.
I don't think they ever made figures for Warlock.
They ever made figures for Warlock?
Yeah,
maybe not.
Which is a shame because Adrian Sands is a great actor.
People love him.
He's been in so much,
and Craig, I think, really enjoyed working with him. Thought he was really cool.
But we're gonna be going here soon. This has been, I won't say a lengthy, but Ralph's over there sitting there going, editing.
Oh man.
I got a Friday deadline.
Don't worry about Ralph.
I get it, Ralph.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'll talk to Ralph.
Sorry, Ralph. We had a lot to talk about.
Before we go, I have a lightning round. I have questions I need to ask.
Oh, go for it. I love that.
This is the questions that the fans really want to know. Okay, they know your career. They're like, we don't want to know about her career.
They can go on IMDb for themselves.
Exactly. They were like, we've heard enough about her career.
We've heard it all. Yes, we know.
They want to know this stuff. This is the important stuff. Okay?
Go for it.
So lightning round, you got to answer as fast as you can.
Here we go.
I'm going to ask them as fast as I can. You ready? Are you ready, Katie Barberi?
I am ready.
All right.
Here we go.
Ready? Go. Katie, what is your favorite color?
Pink.
Pink. Awesome. That's wrong, but we'll go with it. What's your favorite snack?
Snack. Right now, Ruffles. I know it's terrible.
Because they have ridges?
Just because they're so good.
We'll allow it.
Okay.
Judges?
When you pump gas, do you pump regular or unleaded?
I don't pump gas. I have people to do that for me.
She's
Good
got
girl.
people. I don't have people.
No,
I
but,
gotta go pump my own gas, but she's got
Okay,
people.
Craig only pumps unleaded.
Good.
That would
Okay,
be
we'll go
that
with
would
him.
Craig is
be
my
a,
people.
yeah, by proxy question for him, lightning
All
round.
right, we'll go with that.
Supreme. I'm hearing Supreme somewhere in the
Supreme.
stratosphere. Supreme. I know.
RESPCT.
Favorite movie?
Oh, one Supreme, not all of them.
Wow. Oh my God, I have to pick just one.
Just
Broadcast news.
one.
Broadcast news.
That's an older one.
Yeah. Should see
Favorite
it.
book.
Pretty
Last
damn
book
good.
you read.
Last book I read. I only biographies because I have this theory that biographies are people's lives are more interesting than fiction. I'm going to say McConaughey's Green Lights because is it okay that I listen to it?
That's fine. An
Okay.
audio book is a book.
Green Lights, McConaughey.
Awesome. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, liquid.
Okay, this interview's over. I can't do this no more.
Oh, I'm sorry. It needed to be Pepsi. That was
It
wrong.
needed to be Pepsi, but you know
Oh,
what?
I'm so sorry. And look what I did to Michael Jackson, too. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
Right.
Michael Jackson and Joan Crawford, I just messed everything up.
But you know
I'm
what?
so sorry.
You're the
You're
celebrity
I can
never
drink
guest.
allowed back.
Pepsi.
Hold on, you're the celebrity guest. We'll allow it.
I can drink Pepsi, and I do love Dr. Pepper.
Now, if John said it, though, it would be totally no. But you're the celebrity guest. I allow it.
Thank you.
Pineapple. Does it belong on pizza?
Okay, I'm going to be very controversial. In my world, it does. I happen to like Hawaiian pizza. I'm sorry.
No,
Forgive
no,
me.
no.
I like
that,
it.
We accept that answer.
Nope.
We accept that
Okay.
answer.
And promote it.
And now, yeah, and promote it. Pineapple, people.
Promote pineapple on everything.
I'm a big psych fan, so pineapple has to be everywhere.
Yes.
Great.
Now I know where this is gonna go. I've seen you on Dave's The End of the Night, so I'm gonna just shoot it out there. Favorite comic book?
Daylight sucks.
I knew. I knew it.
He did call that one.
I did call that one.
He did
Okay.
call that.
You did.
We're coming to the end. Now you ready?
Ready?
This is a tongue. This is okay.
It's okay. I'm with you.
Katie,
Yes.
what is your favorite Central PA based nerdy web show featuring two 40-something-year-old hosts?
It's a tie. Geek Demon and End of the Night.
They're 40-something. I thought they were older people.
Well, okay. Well, see, that's okay. Now that's a PC area that I'm not going to get into.
Hold on.
But-
That gray area may cover her answer. I'm going to
Okay.
allow it. I'm going to
I'll
allow it.
allow it
Thank
because Dave's a friend of mine.
Yes.
And that
I-
was fantastic. You did that in one take, man.
Oh,
was
good.
beautiful.
Here's my last two questions, and these are important. This is important. I've been prepping
Okay.
for this since what? We've been talking for like a month, give or take. and
I've been prepping for 3 minutes. I'm terrified. There's
okay. Well, you
bead of
should be.
sweat.
You should
Yeah.
be.
Here we
Katie.
go.
Katie,
Yeah.
are you single?
No. Oh my God.
I
I'm
knew
so
I knew
not
the answer,
single.
but the fans needed to know. Are you single?
No, I'm not. Oh my God. I'm so taken. It's not even funny.
Is it Craig?
It is Craig. It's Craig Hurley.
So then my last question I have to ask
Is
hypothetically, if you were to find yourself hypothetically single again in the market, all right, would you be able to see yourself dating a web host from Central PA? Hypothetically.
hypothetically, I don't know if I can go to that level of hypothesis.
Nobody
being
can go to
as-
that level of hypothesis.
Being as in love as I am, but I can absolutely see spending an entire day at a Comic-Con
You know,
with
I'll take that. I will
a
take that.
podcast host from Pennsylvania that I can see.
I will take that. You know what? My heart's a little bit broken. That hurt.
Please don't do that to me.
But you'll be at Sci-Fi Valley Con and I will get this autographed.
I
we
will be
will
at Sci-Fi Valley Con,
and I will
you will get as many autographs as you want. We can even we can hang out.
It's fine.
Craig and I have to eat dinner, man.
It's
We'll
gonna
be
be a little
hungry.
awkward with me and Craig now, but I think I can manage. I'm playing. That's all jokes aside. You are a wonderful guest.
Yes, we appreciate you so much.
I just had to throw that out there because you're technically our first. Well, David Madison was on here, but you're
sorry,
our first
Dave.
to be on. Like I've known David Madison for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Like
he's a beautiful human.
He is. He's a wonderful, wonderful human.
That is a beautiful human being.
But you are the first celebrity guest, whatever, that I've had outside my circle.
Aww.
So,
well, it is a
I
pleasure
had to grill
and an
you.
honor. It is a pleasure and an honor, and we can do it again.
Oh, the door's open.
It was my pleasure.
The door will always be open for you. Like I will
The important thing is that in these interviews,
yes,
that you come into it with an open heart and an open mind, and that you have fun.
Exactly.
Because in so much as we're having fun, our viewers are having fun, and that's the idea.
I'm sure they're getting a laugh off of what I just did, because that's my whole thing. That's what's like. I was like, I have to shoot it, but
we'll be happier.
But to end the show, I want to thank you for coming on, John.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sure you want to say your thank yous as well, because
absolutely. Thank you for a great childhood. To be honest with you,
exactly.
Thank you for the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Oh my God! Please don't do that to me. Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Thank you for the memories, the laughters, everything.
Yes.
Just
thank you for teaching me the word telenovela.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
That was your lesson. I see you learn something new every day.
Yes.
It's very sweet how much people like this movie, and it's very cool to have been a part of their childhoods in that unexpected way. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see people and hear their stories. It'll be awesome.
Now, before I say goodbye to you, Katie, do you have anything in the works that you want to tell anybody about? Like, you got any future shows, future plans, future dates?
So let's be real clear. Auditions and producers wanting to speak about projects and whatever, just starting right now.
Awesome.
We're just starting to open up. I know we had the conversation about the Comic-Cons a couple months ago, and that's very exciting. I know that's a lot of our activity toward the end of the year. I am very excitedly speaking with different producers for both stage and television and what have you. I'd love to do some theater. I really would.
Go back
that would
to
be
the
great.
roots of theater.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And so that is just starting to open up now, and they're just starting to ask to speak to actors for projects. And so that just literally is happening this week. I was
going to say with COVID, I assumed it was going to be a slower.
Yeah,
this is what's going on.
But... No, and they're moving very cautiously. We're in a very unique position, aren't we? We can't do our job with a mask on now, can we?
It'd be odd. I mean, it'd be like, whoa.
Well, and there were a couple of projects made that way, and there were, but by and large, the projects in their inception and the way that they want them to be, to be seen and produced, don't feature people with masks. So, and just the proximity, doing any sort of project, television, film, stage, is an entirely collaborative effort, and it does not happen unless it's a collaborative effort, and you become kind of a family, and then you move on to the next project and you become a family member of that person and that group, and hopefully you get to hold on to all these families that you've created. But you do really have to work that close knit in order to make a production work. And if you're in a situation like actors have been in through this pandemic, that's a very, very weird dichotomy and difficult to do.
Well,
so we're just coming out of that.
You've now made it onto the Geek Demon family. So anytime you have a future
Yay!
project,
top lady.
Yeah, like anytime you have a future project, if you have any news you want the fans to know, send me a message and it'll be posted on website and or right here on the show for everyone to know.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation, for the
It was
lovely time,
it was a
for the
blessing and
sweet
a
words.
thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much for being
you.
so kind and such gentlemen. And I'm excited to come back, and I'll see you guys. And yes,
Us.
you are a gentleman, Kenneth Bouchard.
And she got my name right.
There you go.
All right.
And we'll see you in October, apparently.
Hopefully. And I'm going to end it with Katie, gracias por acompañarnos. Entre en nuestro programa fue un honor.
No, she doesn't have a red penguin. What is wrong with you?
Not on me.
I don't know what she said.
You, that's what you understood too?
A red penguin?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Katie, thank you for joining us. Having you on the show was an honor.
Aw, thank you for having me. And
my Spanish isn't an honor, but you were an honor.
You guys have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for the invitation. I had a great time.
Thank you. And guys, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you're on Facebook, you can catch us at facebook.com/geekdemononline. If you want to go ahead and check out John's little whatever, his world. It's
my world.
Facebook.com/Ace of Knaves ENT. Give him a like, give him a love. Katie, do you have something that I could throw up here?
Yeah, my Instagram is at the real Katie Barberi. My Twitter is at Katie Barberi, and Facebook fan page, I believe, is Katie Barberi, actress. So I'll text you all of that.
And there you guys go. Follow her. If you don't want to follow me, at least follow her because she's the actress. Okay, follow her, see what she's got going, and you never know. Sci-Fi Valley Con, you might get to see her, get to meet her, get an autograph. It's all fun and games. But until next time, I'm the Geek Demon. This is John. This is Katie. And stay freaky.
Stay geeky.
Peace.
Peace.